never imagined myself being a TV host, let alone an actress, let alone Miss Malaysia. So I've always wanted to be a doctor. At 16 or 17, I saw an accident right in front of my eyes. And that was when I was like, no, I think I have a fear of blood, which defeats the purpose of being a doctor. So that was when I was like, oh no, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? I have no direction. Hey, Media Prima is looking for an intern. And then one day, they said, hey, one of the hosts can't make it for the live show. So my producer was like, Alexis, you need to be on in about 15 minutes. I've always been camera shy. I looked at my co-host and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he was like, you know what, just go with the flow. I was like, fine. Did my first show, and that was when I started my career. And when I did not win Miss Universe, I was very, very, very down. I told myself, this only proves that I'm not beautiful enough. I said I would never ever join another pageant anymore.
And then you went into
And then I went to another one. So, but I don't regret it, you know. At that point, I think a lot of people had the same reaction as you, and a lot of my friends were like, sis, not again. Like,
but what makes you want to do it again though?
I remember, I think I was in uni at that point, and I told my uni friends as well, and they were like, but you told us so many things about why you don't want to get like, why are you going into that now? And I think it's because for me, I've grown up watching, if you're talking about Miss Universe and Miss World, I literally grew up watching Miss World. And if I wanted to join any pageant, it would have been Miss World from the start. It's just that Miss Universe approached me. But I've always wanted to do World. I love what they stood for, I love what they stand for, which is beauty with a purpose, which is helping a community, uplifting a community, instead of focusing more on stage presentation and stuff like that. So I resonated with that a lot because my mom used to work for a charity foundation, and that's when I knew how to amplify my ability to just cheer on, right? To help my community, to help my country. Told my mom again, I want to join another pageant, and she was like, oh no. And my whole group of friends were like, no, like we can't go through this again, because
they're probably worried about you.
They were worried, but they were also mentally drained. They knew that I was mentally drained, but they were also mentally drained, and I completely understood, because it really took so much for them to get me out of the stage. And I remember one of my good friends saying, okay, I support you no matter what, whether you want to go into another pageant or not, I support you. But I want to ask you one question. If you don't win, how are you going to reflect on this? And she said, you have to be in a position where even if you don't win, you come out and you tell yourself, oh wow, you know, I am shit, like I'm the most beautiful girl there anyway, so I don't care, you know. You need to have that mentality. And if you still don't have that mentality, do not join. So I was like, wow, okay, fine. So I took a lot of time to sit by myself in my room and do a lot of self-reflection, and I did a lot of meditation at that point as well, to kind of learn a little bit more about who I am as a person, why I reacted the way I reacted, why I was so bitter, right? And I have to go back to the root of the problem. And when I finally found the root of the problem, I said, okay, I'm at peace with myself now. And that was when I told my friend, I'm ready. If I don't do Miss World Malaysia, I would never forgive myself, because it's like the first one, I will always regret it.
So you went in?
So I went in with a much more open heart, much more open mind. And I still remember in the audition itself, it was a completely different Alexis from the one that went into the Miss Universe audition. And I told myself before I went in to see the judges, I said, whatever it is, you are coming in to fulfill your bucket list of doing this. And if you don't win, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. You know, it's exactly like studying. If you don't ace your SPM or you don't ace your IGCSEs, that's not the end of the world. You know, and that's why I always tell young girls who message me or who wants advice from me, I said, it's not the end of the world. You still have a long way ahead of you.
There are other options.
Right? And if you look at it, a lot of successful people are not the ones who have been acing their lives throughout. They have made mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes.
And that's where you have room to grow, I guess.
Correct. Yeah, room to grow. So I went in with open mind, open heart, got in. And on the final night, I said, you know, I'm happy where I am now. I'm just going to go on stage and enjoy. because this would probably be my last time. I'm already at an age where I can't do anything anymore.
It's not about winning, it's about experience.
It's about a once in a lifetime opportunity to stand on that stage, because I don't think I would do it anymore. I went on, won. I still remember I cried, and all my pictures are really horrible. All of them, because my face was red, my nose was red, and everyone thought I was so dramatic. Like, why are you crying so much? And I was like, no, I'm not crying because I won. I'm crying because of
how far you came from.
The journey that I have been through. And it was more of the emotional journey, the mental journey. It wasn't about the physical journey. Physical journey, if you ask me to go back to exercising, I can do it in a jiff, right? But emotional journey takes time. And it takes a lot of effort to put yourself in a situation where you're free from judging yourself all the time.
Wow.
Yeah.
So from your story, right, we are seeing a lot of Brazilians getting back up, not taking no for an answer, and standing on your ground. How do you manage to keep up your spirit though? Like you say, you did a lot of meditation, a lot of talking to yourself. But sometimes talking to yourself, you can also get yourself in a loop that, you know, you're beating yourself up. But you didn't. You actually managed to get back up. Yeah, how did you manage to do it?
I think what sets me apart is my willingness to always learn. So I told myself, the first thing you should do is to learn how to address your emotions. That was the first thing that I wanted to do for myself. It wasn't to learn how to be less emotional in front of people and stuff like that. It was more of like, I need to learn for myself. If I'm going to an anxious state, how do I get out of it for myself, you know? My friends can't be there for me all the time. My friends can't be next to me to tell me, no, this is what you do, this is what you do. I don't need that stencil. I cannot have that notebook next to me. I don't have that textbook. It's not a textbook thing. You need to go on your own emotional journey. My willingness to learn how to get out of it was something that that's something that really helped me out.
Okay, so being in the industry since you were 18, right? What are the challenges that you have come across?
I think being in the industry at such a young age gave me a lot of insecurities, because when I was working in a radio station, I was about 20 and all my co-workers were 30 and above. So no one was around my age, and it was a male dominant environment. So I was the only female there, and I was so young. So I think because I've grown up listening to all these people on the radio, like Jin or Ian, I told myself, oh no, like, am I ever going to live up to whatever they have done over the years? You know, how am I going to live up to that? And especially at that point, I said, oh no, like, because they're men, they tend to be, you know, they have the freedom to be funnier, that kind of thing. Whereas with women, maybe you have to be a little different in terms of character, right? Characteristics. So those were the things that I faced that were a little bit hard to go through. So there were a lot of insecurities of me not being able to live on par with the abilities that all my other co-hosts or my other radio announcers had. Growing up, I think that was one of the hardest thing for me to eliminate from me emotionally, right? I've always been one to, not to say compare myself, but I've always been one to ask myself, okay, I'm amongst the best. Am I able to live up to that? Or are people just gonna see me as the odd duckling out? You know, so that was the challenge that I faced in this industry, going into this industry at such a young age.
And what are the challenges that you are facing now then?
Challenges? I don't really have a lot of challenges now, because I think that I'm working at the right path, working at the right pace. So I would say that I'm very, very contented with myself now and whatever that is happening. But I think that the challenge is being able to set my timings out accordingly. So that's a real big challenge.
Time management.
Yeah, time management. And it's so important to be punctual and stuff like that, but I'm definitely not the most punctual person, and it's because sometimes I don't take into consideration of the timing I get from place A to place B. Even though I leave the place at a certain time that I want to, I don't take into consideration of my duration of the journey.
The distance.
The distance and stuff like that. So in one day I can go to 3 different places. So I can go from Shah Alam to Subang, Subang to Hatamas to this. So for me, it's that duration of my travel time. So I would say that time management is something that I face pretty a lot these days, and I don't think I've mastered it yet, but I hope to master it someday.
Okay, and what are your thoughts about the entertainment industry in Malaysia?
You know, like any other industries, the entertainment industry in Malaysia is pretty brutal in a sense where there will be a lot of rejection. If you weigh it out, you put entertainment industry and you put a corporate job, and you try to see which one has more rejection, I would say that I personally believe that the entertainment industry faces a lot more rejection because it's very competitive. Every single day you have more people coming up and you have more people becoming relevant. Take for example, this year or last year, TikTok became massive and you have TikTokers now, which weren't even a thing back when I first started, you know, it has nothing to do, you know. So for me, it's like, wow, it's a different era. It's a different generation altogether. And if you don't step into whatever they're doing now, your relevance is completely gone. But also your ability to connect with people. At the end of the day, it's just relevance, and it's the ability to go into a casting and whatever they want you to act as, you have to be whatever teenagers are now. So you will go into castings and you audition for roles that you want to play and stuff like that, but you will not instantly get it. So that is something that I face a lot as well, and that is why I say that the entertainment industry is brutal, because you have to go into multiple different castings, multiple different auditions just to get that one role. Or even if you want to play that role so badly, you go in for different castings in different casting agencies and different casting managements, you would sometimes eventually not even get it.
So you said there's a lot of rejections, right? So there's multiple rejections, and then you have to go through multiple castings just to get that one that actually say yes to you.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What makes you that you want to keep trying? Because there's like rejections. Sounds like rejections on a daily basis. Yeah, what keeps you going? That I want to try it again.
I'm not gonna lie and say that it sometimes doesn't put me down at all, because it sometimes does, you know. And everyone would have this moment where you just be like, why am I doing so much to get so little? What are my returns? You know, what is something that I get in return for whatever effort that I've put out? And I think for me, it's more like I don't know, when I was younger, I watched this like Miley Cyrus show. I don't remember what it was, like a Hannah Montana show. And until now, I still remember this quote from her. Life's a climb, but the view is great. So I always take that into consideration. And I don't know why that verse always stuck with me ever since I was a teen.
And that keeps you going.
And that keeps me going because life is like a road, you know. There are bound to have U-turns, there are bound to have like zigzag roads. But at the end of the day, whatever destination that you want to go to will always continue to be there, you know. It will remain there for as long as you want. As long as you go through those obstacles, I think at the end of the day, if you really want something, you will get it.
Well said. So you study psychology, and now you are actually completing another degree. What are the tips and advice for students who are trying to figure out what they want to do or what they want to study?
Never stop trying. Never stop searching for different avenues, you know, because whatever you study, right, it does not mean that you'll get into the industry. It also does not mean that you won't. So you will not know what happens in the future. Let's say, for example, if you study journalism or if you study English Lit, you may not be a writer at the end of the day, but you could possibly be a lecturer. You will never know what brings you joy, you know, in 5 years. You would really never know, because I didn't know that acting in front of a camera, playing a different character would bring me so much happiness. Yeah, so for me, whatever it is, education is just a baseline, right? You have to have education. Whatever courses that you take, it does not matter whether you even get into the industry in the future, as long as you have a backup, as long as you have a base, a foundation, and the education to receive more knowledge and learn about how to work or how to function. Very minor things like public speaking really helps. You know, it does not matter. I know that when I'm at Help now and I'm in communications, the one class that I really enjoy is public speaking, because even though I'm already an existing host, I felt like going into that class, I actually learned even more about how to execute my intonations very well. So because of that, I felt like it helped me more in my career. When I MC, I know what to talk to different people about. I know how to say this in a softer manner. I know how to speak about this in a louder manner, that kind of thing.
So what are the projects that you are working on right now?
Personally, I'm working on a couple of projects, and they are content creating projects for different brands. So I have a video that is out now. It's for Nestle, and I have a couple for Disney and Warner Music and stuff like that. So those are the things that I'm working on right now. And of course, upcoming projects of acting, both on YouTube and on TV as well. So these are the things that I'm focusing on right now.
Okay, and what's next for you?
Because I'm in the works and I'm in the planning stages of creating my own businesses and stuff like that, I obviously hope for it to become a success, and I hope that it will continue to become a success, and I hope that I continue to be in this industry as long as possible in any forms. You know, it can be producing a TV show. It does not have to be me in front. It can be me teaching or coaching other people in the beauty pageant realm and stuff like that. So I think for me, whatever I do leads back to helping the community around me as well. You know, helping to raise the new generation of hosts and the new generation of beauty queens.
Great. So like, if audience want to know more about your works or any updates about you, what is the best way that they can actually contact you or like, you know, look for information or updates?
So you can actually look for me on Instagram, and it's at Alexis SueAnn, ALEXIS It's a very long name, but you'll get there.
Don't worry, we'll put it in the description box later. Is there anything else that you want to tell the audience or
be the best version of yourself. Be you. Don't constantly live up, or don't constantly become a person that other people want you to be. You know, you are you. Your imperfections make you your perfect self.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much for tuning into X Education Talks today. If you enjoyed today's conversation, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel, or share it with your friend. If you have any comment or feedback, we would love to hear from you as well. Drop us a message if you would like us to guide you in choosing a course or with your university applications to Australia, Malaysia, the UK, or Canada. See you in the next episodes of X Education Talks. Bye!
𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷𝐷